hello, my lovelies. Sorry for this very long overdue reading vlog update. It has been a while. I think I'm not a winter girly for sure because every time it becomes winter is when I don't read as much, I don't want to film as much, and it's just like I'm just hibernating. But like I'm trying to break out of that habit. So it's January 3rd today. I am currently reading a book. I'm almost done. I was listening to it and I was like, wait, shouldn't I be updating that I'm reading? Yeah, so I'm almost done reading the marriage narrative by Claire Khan, and I'm really loving it. I have like 10 pages left. That's how close to finishing it I am. But yeah, I thought I would do a little update. This is what I'm reading this week. Today's Sunday. I'm starting off the reading week, finishing up a book that I've been reading from January 1st. The goal was to finish it January 1st. I like to read my first book and finish it on the same day that the new year starts, but that didn't work out because like I was in a little bit of a reading slump. I'm slowly getting out of it, slowly but surely. I do plan to read some more books this week. I really wanted to pick up this one because the audiobook is going away soon on Libby. That is Daughter of No Worlds. Basically, all of these books that I'm reading in January is the ones I had on my December TBR because I've only read 3 books from that TBR. I may very well be picking up Oakbone as well this week or maybe next week, but I still want to read this book. I was just in a reading slump. But yeah, I am back reading and all that. So welcome to the start of a new reading vlog. I will be finishing this last 10 pages in this romance novel. Really loving it. So it's basically centered around this lady who made a marriage contract with this guy who all his family is very famous. They have a TV show all centered around their lives. So with the marriage contract now, he agreed to it because he needed a new storyline for their show to like help his sister in the TV show. So they got married. Obviously, they fell in love slowly but surely. It's very sweet. I love the romance. I feel like there was a little bit of something missing, so it's not like a 5-star read for me. But it still had enough romance in there that was believable to me and just so sweet, had me giggling and all that. So I still enjoyed it to the point that I think I'm going to give it like a 4.5 stars. Basically. So yeah, those are my thoughts on my current read right now. Good morning, good morning. So, day 2 of this reading vlog. I realized I spoke wrong yesterday. I said it was January 3rd. It was actually January 4th, not the 3rd. Where am I going? But yeah, I finished reading The Marriage Narrative by Claire Kahn, and I was right. It was a solid 4.5 stars. I really loved it. It was a great start, a great book to start off the new year with, because usually the past 2 years I've been reading like a 3-star book for my first book of the year, and I feel like I'm tired of that. So I was really thinking about what should I read first. So I went out of my comfort zone and I chose a contemporary romance book because usually I don't read contemporary romance books that often. I've been trying to like put like more on my TBR in a month instead of, but I realized that I do love reading like black romances, so black contemporary romances. So that's why I've been gearing towards more of that lately, and I love this one. It was so sweet, so romantic, gave me all the giddy feels that I was expecting from a contemporary romance. So yeah, I had a great time with this one. 4.5-star read exactly. It was lovely. And like I said yesterday, I do plan to pick up Daughter of No Rose by Carissa Broadbent. I did always see this book for the past 2 years because I read that one book by Carissa Broadbent. I always want to read this one because it has a mentor-student dynamic, which I love that dynamic. I always say that. I don't know. I just love it. But yeah. So I'm finally going to be reading this one. I have, I believe, 6 days left on Libby to listen to the audiobook. So I'd like to listen along while I read a book physically. So that is how I read mainly. Sometimes I will just read a book physically if I have no choice, or sometimes I just hate the audio so much, or I just don't feel like listening to an audiobook. So I'll read a book physically sometimes, but it's very rarely that I do that. I'll say like probably 1 book out of all of the books I read in 1 month, like 6 books or 7 books, I'll only have read 1 alone without any audio. But just to keep in mind, most books I read, when I say I'm reading a book, I'm reading with my eyes, but I'm also listening. It just makes it much more exciting for me. Um, let's talk about my Goodreads reading goal. I set it to 35 this year because this year I am planning to write more. I've always said it that I want to be a writer, like I want to be an author. Well, I'm a writer. I want to be an author. I cannot focus on multiple things at once, like hobby wise. Like the only hobby I do while doing another hobby is puzzling, which I just found I love doing that. I believe in 2024, the end of 2024. So yeah, I can do that while listening to audiobooks, but I cannot write while doing other stuff. And like as you can see, I do more than one things at once. I listen to books and read books at the same time. That's crazy. So I'm trying to figure out a writing routine. Like I need a time slot, time frame to write because I have an idea that I really want to set into stone. And I realize I've been setting back writing in favor of reading more. And like, yeah, I'm a reader, but I want to be a writer. Like I have it in me, deep in me, that I want to really write. So I want to set a time frame for that. I might be doing less videos due to that because at the end of the day, I want to accomplish my dreams this year, and that is writing. So I'm going to be gearing towards that more. So if you see less videos coming out for me, it's because of that. Sorry. I don't think anyone want to watch videos of me writing anyways, because like I'm a newbie at writing. I'm going to be doing like some serious reading on books of how to write. So no one wants to listen to that. People want to listen to fiction, you know? But yeah, I'll also still be reading. That's why I set my goal to 35 books, because I know this year I'll be reading less because I'm going to be centering writing more in my life this year. Maybe I'll be reading 50 books, but I set it to 35 just so I don't feel like too stressed about meeting my goals, which I've never actually felt that way. I failed my reading goals plenty of times and I didn't care. Like I set it to 50 last year, but I actually wanted to read 80 books and I only read 71, and I did not care because I know myself. When it comes December, I just get into reading slump. I don't read as much in December. Like October has always been my peak month, October, and I believe July. I think it's July or June. One of the J months in summer is when I read the most, and then in October for sure, the Burr months is when I read the most too. I would say also November I read a little bit more than usual, but October for sure. I always read like a good 15 books in October. It is what it is, you know. So yeah, my reading goal is 35 books. I also need to find like new releases in 2026 to read. I realize I don't really keep up with that, so I don't really know like what's being released. So I need to like go and research and find stuff like BIPOC's books being released, because that's where I gear more towards, and like probably series, sequels, stuff like that that I've already read or like had in mind but never thought about for a while. So we'll see. I'm gonna put those together. I did do a reading journal, digital reading journal, because I learned last year that physical is not for me anymore. I used to do physical, but that was when I had time. I don't have time anymore. So yeah, day 2 gonna be picking up Daughter of No Rules. I might be reading only like 10 pages, girlies. I have plans today, so like probably 10 pages, and then we'll really be going into it tomorrow for sure. Little update. So the plan was to read at least a good 20 pages of Daughters of Norrell so I could get an idea of the world and all that. But I actually read 80 pages exactly because I am enjoying this book so much. Just so much. I already love Tisana, the main character. I love her type of I love her type of personality. So immediately I was drawn in. Immediately, like the whole premise of her being taken away from her family and becoming a slave and working her way up with her master to like buy herself out of slavery. That right there, I was just like invested already from that. And then what she did that led her to go to the orders and meet her mentor, who he does not want to mentor her at all. I'm at that point where he was basically forced to mentor her and he refuses to train her. That's where we're at. Like it's been like a couple weeks now she's with him. He refuses. He does not like the orders. The orders is basically like this army, I guess you could say. They work for like a kingdom. I'm not sure if it's a queendom or kingdom. It sounds like it's a queendom because they mentioned a queen of Ara, the land that she went to in order to work with the orders. And so far, he refuses to train her. It's a whole thing between these two, and I feel like I love their dynamic. It's a little bit funny, even though the whole book is more on the serious side. Like there's impending war with like what Tishana did in that other city and stuff like that. But like I'm still loving it, you know? Like I'm loving it from like the first 80 pages is really good. I have nothing bad to say about this book at all. I'm so happy that I decided to pick it up, my first fantasy book of 2026. I think it's gonna be a lovely read because so far I'm loving it. I was like, oh, I can't start reading. But yeah, I was like, okay, 80 pages. I'm gonna do a little update on how I'm feeling. But I am loving it basically. So today's my day off, and what I'm doing to be cozy and chill is both listen to the audiobook of Daughters of No Girls and finally working on this puzzle set because I got this back in December. Obviously, you can see the Christmas tree on the little corner right here. And it was like Christmas theme puzzle that I didn't work on at all. I've only did the bottom piece, like a few of them is what I did in December. I'm telling you, I was in a whole slump in December. I didn't do anything hobby wise. I only read 3 books in the beginning of December, and that was about it. But yeah, so today I'm working on the puzzle piece, and I am on page, I believe, 142 of Daughters of No World. The goal is to read 100 more pages today, so I can be at the halfway mark. Around 241 will be the halfway mark of this book. And yeah, I am still loving Tasana, the main character in here. I really love her personality. She's so strong-minded, and she has the will to go forward, and she has a goal in mind, even though it might not be realistic, which I love that about her. It's not a very realistic goal, but she's really working hard, and I love the mentor student vibes going on here with her and Max because oh, I just love it. I just love that trope so much. So yeah, I'm enjoying my time reading this book. I'm gonna savor it because I really like it so far. So I don't want to rush through this book. So I'm gonna listen to the audiobook, a little bit of that, and hit my goal today, my reading goal of 100 pages. And yeah, that's the goal. That's the plan. Good morning. So last night I got up to the halfway mark. Well, like I believe 51% is exactly where I went up to. But now I'm at chapter 35, and I'm not gonna lie, what I'm feeling is dread because I really love these two characters, Tisana and Max. So, considering this is a book completely about war, obviously there's gonna be some tragedies happening. Well, they've already happened, but like further, further traumatic stuff is going to happen with these characters, I feel. I'm just not looking forward to that because I really love them in like a soft way. So I don't want like these dark stuff to be happening to them. But this is a war torn world, and I should know better going to a fantasy book. But it looks like I'm gonna be heartbroken in the next couple of pages because something something is gonna happen. I actually stopped last night because there was like a letter that she got from this other guy that I really don't like, and I was like, oh, I can't. It's too late for this. So I was like, let's put this book down. And I actually put it down because honestly, I'm savoring this book. I know it's like a 3 book series, but like I'm gonna take my time slowly with it because I was actually looking at book 2 and 3, like peeking at the summaries of them, and I was like, ooh, sounds tragic. And another thing, this book, it gives me the same feeling I felt when reading Guild by Raymond Kennedy, like the Glow series. I forgot what that series is called. Like the one that's based off the Midas mythology. It the main character Susanna, she kind of reminds me of the character in that book, in that series, and like the way the plot is moving to, like, and her whole backstory is kind of similar, but not exactly. It's just like it kind of reminds me of it to the point that I'm really like loving her characterization because I really love the main character in that book as well. Granted, I immediately liked Susanna. I did not love the character in the Guild series from the first book because she was very annoying and like very pick me. But I read it further and I understood why she was the way she was. You know, I gave her some understanding. But to Sana now, she knows herself. She really knows herself, and she knows what she has to do in order to survive in her role. So I like that about her, and I love how sweet her voice is. Like the audiobook, her voice is just so sweet. Oh my gosh. And I like that she doesn't, even though she has the ability to like enter people's minds, she doesn't really use that to basically take advantage of people, but she does use it to help her to like get a feeling on how others feel about her, and if they hate her, like, or like have some sense, or have some sense of like lightness towards her, so that could get her through this world basically. I like that she uses her powers kind of for good. I mean, like it can be used for bad. Like granted, she did something bad at one point with her powers, but I also like that as well. I keep saying like, but it's just a lot of stuff I love about this book. I love that she doesn't really know how to use her powers, and we're watching her grow into them and like learn to use them, even though she's this old and she should already know how to use it. But because of her whole situation, she never was taught, you know? And I feel like there's great things coming for her. I feel like she's gonna be a very bigger um, character in this world, like with the orders and stuff, because it seems like they have something in store for her, and I want to see what it is they have in store for her. But yeah, so far we're loving Daughters of No Rules. It might be a 5 stars, guys. It might, based on how I'm feeling. Good morning, my lovelies. So today is the last day of this week's reading vlog. I did finish reading Daughter of No Worlds. Such a lovely read, such an unexpected lovely read. Because honestly, going into this, I was like, okay, I might enjoy it here and there, but I wouldn't like totally, completely fall in love with it like I did, but I did. Especially to Sana. Last night, what happened is I finished this yesterday even after I finished doing my hair, and I went on to watch this Chinese historical drama, and I was just like, Tisana, the main girl reminds me of Tisana. I'm like, damn, I'm obsessed. I was like, oh my goodness, why did I just finish a nice 5 star read book and then I went to find a nice drama that reminds me of the character from this book? Obviously, I stayed up late last night watching that drama, and I'm going to continue watching it today. But other than that, now let's talk about this book and why I loved it so much. Going into it, I was, as I said, I expected to like it, but immediately I got the vibes that Tisana was just going to be that girl, and she was. She was. I just love badass female characters, especially when they're growing into their powers. Watching them grow into their powers and just get so cruel to the people that have been cruel to them. I love to see it. I do not love it when the characters everyone is cruel to them and they're like, oh, I don't want to be like them. I'm like, girl, be worse. And Tisana, she was being worse. I love that about her. That is why I love Jude from The Cruel Prince, because she was just like that from day one. And Tisana, honestly, she's like that in like a sneaky way, and I love that. And there was like a really good twist nearing like the I would say the 70% mark or so, with Tisana, and I love that even more. So her powers are even more powerful, and then some other stuff with her magic. I love that. I just love it. Oh, I got some good scenes in this book, some good scenes that I just enjoyed reading about. So yeah, I give it 5 star because I just kept loving it more and more. And honestly, the romance too was so good. I love it when it starts off with a friendship and then turns into like a blossoming romance, and that's what I got with the romance in here too. And honestly, I don't really care about the romance as much as I do the characters individually and like together as like friends. Even in the romantic relationship, even though it's slowly developing, it still isn't completely there. I feel like the friendship vibe is just there. You know, like when a couple is like, you can tell they're best friends. That's what I'm getting with these two characters in here, and I love it. I love everything about it. So yeah, immediately I bought book two because I didn't buy book two yet, but I had put it on hold on Libby, the audiobook. But now I have book two coming in the mail, so that means I'll be picking it up very soon this month because Tisana and Max is just in my head. Okay, I need to know what happened. So now I'm not afraid to read book two because I read the synopsis, and the synopsis was actually making sense now that I've read the first book and like all the way through. Before I thought it was going to be like some really terrible thing happening, which yeah, but now I understand where it's coming from. It's not necessarily Tisana. Yes, she's going to be involved with some wars from Ara now, but I feel like the things that I read in the synopsis is not going to be really on her. Maybe one of the characters that was in book one that was close to Max and Tisana, maybe one of them is going to die. I feel like that's what I feel like is going to happen, like strongly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to book two. There's gonna be some heavy stuff happening in book two, but I still want to see it because I really love these characters. And even in the darkest times, they're still funny with each other and all that, you know. So I'm excited. I did buy this book a few days ago, Dragon Curse, because it was one of my anticipated releases of 2025, but it didn't come out in 2025. It was released January 6th this year, 2026, by Elise Kova. I believe it's a duology, and the reason why I remembered it is because I was on Instagram and she said that it got auctioned. What is it? Optioned for a movie release. So that might be years from now, but regardless, it's gonna become a movie. It seems, and maybe or maybe not, because that whenever they say that it's unreal, doesn't really mean it might completely go through production and all that. But we'll see. But I love dragon books, so obviously I still want to read this book. And I did read a page of it last night, so this is what I will continue reading until I get my copy of Children of Fallen Gods, book two in the Daughters of the Royal series. So yes, this is what I'll be reading. I love the map in here already. I don't know if it's like modern times or ancient times. Based on the map, it looks like it might be medieval times because we don't have these type of cities. But yeah, yeah, it looks nice, and it has like we call it. The edges are colored with like some type of dragon. It's pretty cool. I feel like books these days they always have sprayed edges now. Nothing special but sprayed edges anymore. That was like back in like 2014 and so. That was very rare, and the book was always way more expensive whenever the edges were sprayed. But yeah, this is me concluding this week's reading vlog. I had a first 5-star read this year in January. That's crazy. I didn't expect to have a 5-star read so soon in the year. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this reading vlog. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.